All right, thank you for joining me in this video lecture. I thought that nobody would be there because it's usually the time for all the housewives to work, but you have joined and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much for joining. Just going to show you the screen, and I must tell you that I'll try my best that this is not going to be that much large because we shall be talking about only those points which are very relevant from exam point of view. Otherwise, there is large kind of theories you have to understand and you have to go through. So just going to share the screen, and again, I just wish to ask you that can you completely hear me? Should I start my lecture? Can I get your confirmation? Ayushi ma'am, can you hear my voice? Indu ma'am, can you hear me? All right, thank you so much. I got the confirmation. Going to show you what we have prepared for you in this specific lecture. And this is specifically going to be relating to trade unions. And this is very important because from now, the human resources management is of somewhat advanced level because we have already crossed studying human resources management from the point of view of an individual employee. We have already understood about a different concept regarding that, but now we have to understand about the industrial relations, about which I have already delivered one lecture today. And I told you that there are three actors of industrial relations. The first was employers and their organization. The second one, the employees and their organization. And last one is the government. When we talk about employees and their organizations, this is the known as a trade union. And so this is the reason why in the context of industrial relations, we have to go through from trade unions as well. Because historically in India, after independence, there have been some trade unions about which you must have knowledge because you are appearing in the net examination. And after that, you must have the knowledge regarding how these are created and what these are meant for. So these things we shall cover in this specific lecture. Now, just going to show you what we have prepared. So we have to understand the trade union from India's point of view only. So in India, the Trade Union Act was passed in 1926, and it defined a trade union as any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily for the purpose of regulating relations between workmen and employers, or between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers, or for imposing anything, any condition on conduct of any trade. So that is called, not going to the last line, but that was much more than sufficient about the detail of trade union. It just tells you any combination formed, whether this is temporary or permanent, for regulating the relationship between workmen and workmen, workman and employer, then employer and employer, for just regulating the relationship between these three actors, so that there is cordial kind of relationship and there is best kind of achievement. So that kind of temporary or permanent combination is known as a trade union, and this is usually formed from workers point of view. And in India, its act was passed in 1926. So that is the complete definition of trade unions. So how to register a trade union? There is the registration process which we have to understand. At least 7 members are needed. Once this question was asked, okay, you have to apply to the registrar of trade union. You have to fill different kind of forms. The first is Schedule 1, Schedule 2, and bylaw and a resolution signed by all the members. Then 500 is the registration fee for trade union registration. So this I have taught you regarding the process of a registration of a trade union. I hope you would have understood what I wish to teach you in these 2 slides. Okay. So first I gave you the information regarding definition of a trade union. After that, I have taught you regarding registration. Now, there are some types of trade unions. Okay, types of trade unions which we have to understand, so that we can further move towards what are the different trade unions existed in India. So trade unions type can broadly be classified into two types. The first is a reformist and second is a revolutionary. So the reformist is just the union which aims at preservation of a capital economy, which do not want any kind of changes, which don't wish any kind of changes. They just need a capitalist economy. They just need to improve wage level, working condition, quality of work life by increasing productivity level only. They just emphasize on a productivity level and capitalist economy. They don't seek any kind of a government intervention. So that is the kind of reformist union, and that can further be classified into two parts. The first is business union, which is formed by collaborating business hands. Then a friendly union, which involves the workers as well, workers to workers. And this is also known as uplift unions. So regarding reformist union, what I have taught you is that they just emphasize on the preservation of a capitalist economy and productivity level. They do not concern anything relating to the revolution. The next are a revolutionary union. They just wish to destroy the capitalist system. They wish to abolish private property system. They just wish to inform socialist or communistic system. Okay, there are two types of revolutionary union. So basically, they doesn't want only the productivity level. They need the personal enhancement or the or their own laws or own upliftments. So there are two kinds of these unions. The first is political union, which is formed through political process with political parties. The second is anarchist union, who are basically the anarchists. Okay, they just form their union because they have their complete dissent towards the management, and they don't like the management. So this is why they just form their union. So only these two were there. The first was a reformist and second was a revolutionary. Now, if we talk about some functions of a trade union, they just perform four kind of functions. The first is militant intramural function. So under these function, they just seek the higher wages level, higher salary level, and better working condition, and they just quarrel with the management for getting these kind of emoluments or benefits. So these comes under the militant functions of trade unions. The second is fraternal functions, when within the organization workers take care of other workers, like fraternity or extramural functions. Okay, they just consider the plight of their fellow workers and they help them in need of emergency. Then there are some social functions. They have to perform social when the trade union is engaged socially in social events. So these kind of functions are also known as social functions, and these are performed by the trade union as usual. Finally, there are political functions, when the trade unions are indulged in political developments, like with a specific party, with its raising of its slogans, or just uh, wandering with all the political parties. So these kind of functions are also covered under the broad functions of trade unions. So these are the four types which they have to perform. And now the most important thing which we have to understand is only the detail or list about some important trade unions in India, because I have experienced that once or I think twice the question regarding trade union, previous trade unions in India has been asked. So now just going to give details of all these with how, when they were formed and what was their basic purpose. So the first was All India Trade Union Congress, AITUC. Okay, so this is the oldest trade union. Okay, it is not politically affiliated to any party. Okay, any political party, but itself it is the third largest communist party after CPIM and CPI. It was founded on October 1920 in Bombay by Lala Lajpat Rai, Joseph Baptista, N.M. Joshi, Diwan Chamanlal, and few others. And until 1945, when union becomes organized on party lines, it was primary trade union in the organization. Okay, so this was some historical detail about that. Now you would have got some idea of what you must learn from these all trade unions. First of all, you must know their names, their abbreviation. Second, somewhat history about that and what is there, what was there in those trade unions. That is very important to go through. The second one was INTUC, that was Indian National Trade Union Congress, founded in 3rd of May 1947, is affiliated with the International Trade Union Confederation. Okay, according to, so that was some data that is very outdated data, but you can just merely go through for once only. Okay, so that is that is also one of the biggest trade union in India. Then there is the Bharatiya Majdoor Sangh. It was founded by Dattopant Thenegadi on 23rd of July 1955. Okay, it can also be noted that BMS is not affiliated to International Trade Union Congress. So, okay, it is labor wing of RSS. Okay, then BMS was founded on that the day being birth anniversary of Lok Manya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, the veteran of freedom movement. So in this connection, it was formed actually. So it was some detail regarding all these three trade unions. The fourth one is C2. This is Center of Indian Trade Unions. This is a national level trade union in India, and politically that was affiliated to Communist Party of India, Marxist. Okay, it's a trade union win, and it is a spearhead of Indian trade union movement. This is a spearhead of that. So there are some basic details regarding that, that they have a presence in southern states very much. The center of Indian trade union is today one of biggest assembly of workers and classes of India. It's very great. Okay, it has a strong unchallengeable presence in Indian state of Tripura, beside good presence in West Bengal, then Kerala as well. It has actually this has prevalence. This trade union, its root are present everywhere in the India. Then there is Hind Majdoor Sabha, founded on 29th of December 1948 by socialist, okay, or forward bloc followers and independent unionists. So it was formed. This is also a national trade union center in India. So I think these were some details regarding what you have to go through, understand. You have to remind their names, after that their presence, date, and all these things. Okay. So what I have taught in this lecture regarding trade union, their formation, registration, their types, and most importantly, the types of trade unions in India. And with this, because we have done this now, so it's much more than sufficient that we have conducted three topics. I think three topics for tomorrow as well. Now it shall not be burdenized, because the most important topic, that is the workers' participation in management, which has specifically been written in our syllabus. It shall get much more than enough time tomorrow. That was the reason why we had conducted the live lectures of industrial relations, then trade unions, dispute settlement process, all these things in today as well. So in this way, I have given you information regarding that. So regarding the further information of the other things, that shall be provided to you. And again, I am just requesting you all that likewise we are doing, you are also supposed to do. These are very important things to go through. You cannot skip each and everything. Otherwise, you can You can also say that it's just the start of August. Why I am doing that much in hurry? Don't just feel that this is just a start of August. Just feel that your exam is on tomorrow. Tomorrow you have only this day left. Okay, only then you shall be able to qualify, because it's a huge syllabus of a past 7 years. We are taking only those parts which are relevant from exam point of view. Still, as per my conscience is there, whatever the way I teach in my classroom or my college or my university as well, we believe that student must know each and everything regarding whatever the different aspects are directly or indirectly concerned with a specific topic. This is the reason why we take a lot of lectures. Sometimes these are recorded and sometimes these are live lecture. So you have to go through from each and every. I genuinely believe that the students who are very regular, like I can see that some students join every lecture. Like if even if I take the lecture on in the morning time, evening time, or any time, they just attend that. They are that much dedicated because maybe they are having a lot of time with them. So I just request you to be regular with each and everything what we are providing to you. In case of any question, you can ask us. Most of the videos will be in this way in the coming days, because number of lectures are coming. Okay, so this is why you have to adjust in this way. Sometime we are giving you, sending you the recorded lecture in the night time, sometime in the daytime or morning time. You can adjust time accordingly. Okay, for you it can be that there are 5 months, but for me it's just last day today, and tomorrow is your examination, and that should be the spirit of yours as well. So this is Gurpal Singh from Gurser Education. Thank you so much. I'm heartily thankful to you that it's been more than 2.5 hours by now. Still you are attached with what I'm teaching to you. But I'm not going to take the further lecture, but I have already prepared that as well. But I think that if I take it today, nothing will be there for tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me in this lecture.